LD 28, which includes Sun City West, a little bit of North Peoria, a little bit of North Glendale, and a little bit of North Phoenix, if you can believe that. We're one of the larger districts in the state. So, I am a proud wife of a military veteran. He served in the U.S. Air Force, and I will fight for your Second Amendment rights. I am also a proud member, proud founding member of Adams Traditional Academy, which was founded on patriotism, back to basics, traditional education. It has over 800 students today, including a high school. And let's see, I am definitely against racism being taught in our schools. I'm against, Patricia, she's so great. I love her. I am against indoctrination. You know, we need to get rid of this sex education in our elementary schools. No grooming. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's time. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm running, is we need to take back our freedoms and we need to stand up for righteousness. I'm also for, protecting our children, our children's minds. You know, their innocence needs to be protected now. We don't need to have that nonsense in our elementary schools. We also need to, I'm all about faith, family, and freedom. I also want to take back our constitutional rights and secure our border. The U.S. Constitution says that if we declared an invasion, which this crisis is definitely an invasion, we can exercise our Article 4, Section 4 in the U.S. Constitution as an invasion. We can nullify the federal government's overreach and take back state control. Yes, absolutely. We also need to implement our Arizona State Guard. There is a provision in our government for that guard. It just needs to be manned and funded. So, a lot of people have said, well, we can call in the National Guard. Well, calling in the National Guard, the feds are going to cut that off. So, definitely, by implementing our state guard, that would give the manpower at the border to do what we need to do. I would love to see the Trump policies re-implemented as far as remain in Mexico and that sort of thing.
Build the wall.
Yes, so when you talk about that, build the wall, we have a 60-foot easement along the border. And where the wall is not built, we can go behind that 60 foot and work with the ranchers along that area to build the wall. And as far as the areas where the Indian reservation is, we can go to them and say, hey, you're either in or you're out. It's up to them. The Indian reservation down there along the border is controlled by the cartels. If they don't want to be a part, they can have a port of entry that's manned, just like we used to do on the border, and still be a part of the United States. But if they don't want to be, it's a choice. It's up to them. So it's federal land, but exactly. So, I'm definitely for securing our border. I am also for election integrity. I do believe that this election was stolen. Either way, nonpartisan, it doesn't matter. We still need to have truth in our government. We need to get rid of the corruption. We need to tighten up our election laws. I know there was over 23 laws that have been passed, but there's still a lot more to do. And it's hard to, sometimes I know myself, I had my head in the sand for many, many years and didn't realize that all this was going on behind our election doors and our government doors. And, we need to tighten up the signature verification. We need to have voter ID. You have to have ID to get on an airplane, to buy alcohol. I mean, it just makes sense. And I am not for the illegals voting. That is the agenda of the left. They want to have as many immigrants voting so that they have that additional numbers. We need to definitely have voter ID. We also need to clean up our voter rolls. No dead people should be allowed to vote. That's just common sense. Where is the common sense in our government? Yes, dead people. How's that happen? We need to clean up those voter rolls. I've seen that myself. As we've gone out knocking doors, handing out all our literature, it's been amazing how many people have had the households turned over 3 or 4 times, and there are people that are have moved 10 years ago that are still registered voters in that household, and that's uncalled for. And I've seen lots and lots and lots of it.
Wow.
So definitely for stricter laws and cleaning up the election integrity issue. I am definitely for faith, family, and freedom. The reason why I decided to run was because our constitutional rights were being trampled all over. With all of the shutdowns through the pandemic, these were all unconstitutional shutdowns. The mask mandates, these vaccine mandates, that's unconstitutional. And, while I'm on the constitutional piece of that, I am definitely for one vote, one day, one ballot. This Constitution says that we shouldn't have a whole month for voting. And I'm willing to be inconvenienced to go to the voting polls to submit our vote so that we can get this under control. We can loosen it up later after we get things straightened out, but come on, let's tighten up that. The other thing is, let's see,
Can I say something?
Sure.
A lot of people should volunteer to be poll watchers.
Absolutely.
And ballot box watchers.
Exactly.
And we gotta insist that we follow these transporters when they go from the mailbox
The chain of custody.
to the place of.
Right. She worked down at the election audit. I know she did. Many of you in the room, I think, did as well. So I did help get workers. I didn't work at the audit down at the fairgrounds, but I did help man and vet the workers for the audit. So that was kind of exciting. People have asked me, well, did you help with the audit? Oh, yeah, I did. I'd forgotten I did that, but yeah, I did. That was quite a process. So I also, we need to, one thing, we all want change. Many of us want change in government. And, if you keep voting the same people over and over and over again and expect a different result, the definition of insanity, it's time for a change. My opponent voted to keep the Dominion machines. He's also voted for 6 tax increases on the gas tax in the last 2 years. He has sponsored multiple bills for tax increases, and that really goes against our Republican Party. I'm for less government, less taxes, and especially with the double-digit inflation rates that we have right now, we need that money back in your pockets. Now's the time to fight for that. And if he's back in office, and he's been in the House and termed out, he's been in the Senate, and now he's terming out there, running for the House again. His name is David Livingston. So he is a rhino. We want him out. It's time for change, and I want to be that change. So I also want to tell you that, I didn't just randomly decide to run for office. I was interviewed. I met with past and current legislators, got their take, I investigated, and I did sign up late in the game. So, a lot of people have been running for office for over a year now. I didn't sign up till March 1st, and so I hit the ground running, and it's amazing to see what God has done in that. But the exciting part to me is, after meeting with various people and I interviewed them, and going through that, and then, I prayerfully considered it. I lifted it up to the Lord, I prayed about it, and it was interesting as I'm arguing with the Lord about it, because I'm like, really? Me? Who me? Who am I? And the Lord gave me over 30 scriptures, said, be bold, be brave, fear not, walk in faith, I will provide, and on and on and on and on, over 30 scriptures. Every objection I threw to him, he threw one back to me. And, how do you argue with God? You can't. And so I'm walking by faith, and thank you guys for contributing tonight and attending. If you have any other questions, I would love to field those. And also, basically, if it goes against the Bible or the Constitution. I'm not voting for it. That's my baseline. I do need your help. I do need more donations, of course, and I need people to drop literature door to door or take it to work if you work in Sun City or Sun City West. Those types of things, all those, dropping the literature door to door. Signs in the yard. I have some signs out on the porch, so please take a sign when you leave if you don't have one in your yard and you're in the area. And I guess thank you very much, and I'm going to introduce Bob, and I hope I don't butcher his name. Lettieri?